Vekas. We have no time to waste with that unbearable old fool.
One moment, please. Even though he wasn't listed on the program, Dr. Zimmer, whom we all know, has something he would like to tell us, with your permission.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, it was difficult for me to get here considering my health. As you all may know, my whole life has been devoted to neuropathology. I have investigated this matter for over 30 years. Although all of you always considered him as a pretentious charlatan, we all agree on the usefulness and the genius of Dr. Orloff. According to him, certain specific parts which are located in the brain as well as the spine proceed indirectly together to determine good and evil and provoke these reactions. Therefore, this prodigious scientist was convinced that the origin of good and bad has always been purely physiological. And I want to say that even though it will destroy all psychosomatic theories, I agree. I can tell you, my discoveries go beyond those of Dr. Orloff. Recently, with my daughter Irma, I've succeeded in discovering and with precision the exact centers creating good as well as those creating evil. Locations are distinct. And I discovered zeros capable of eliminating, neutralizing, or activating these motor centers. And I have living proof of such thing.
Have you done experiments on persons?
No, Dr. Kalman. I only experiment on animals.
And what sort of animals did you use? A tamed cat that had devoured a mouse?
Dr. Moroni, will you let me speak? At last I've been able to eliminate those cells in a hyena. Now she gently takes her food from me. I tried the opposite with a dog, and the animal went out of his head. He destroyed it.
And what do you want exactly, Zimmer?
Vikas, I want a chance to try it on you.
How dare you take us for fools? You should be put in jail.
Let me explain. Thanks to me, all the killers, all the abnormal, all the sadists, all the maniacs could be transmuted into wise and good persons. And they would have a chance to begin a normal life.
Beyond scandal, it's outrageous.
What risk would there be if I were allowed, just for once, to use a convicted criminal?
You're the one that I'd call criminal, Doctor.
We must put a stop to this man. I think everybody's opinion here is that you'd better leave this Congress right now. And we order you to stop your inhuman experiments.
No, Vikas. No, no. Father. I swear to continue. Father. I swear. I'll continue.
Yes, I could love you. What? I couldn't bear it if you liked.
Your work in the slaughterhouse is necessary for people like me. We like to eat the meat, but not prepare it. But you should not relate this to humans.
This is good whiskey. Very good. I find it helps a lot, Master. Thanks for inviting me. What did you see through those binoculars? What do you know about me?
Everything. You're alone. And you're sad. And you need some help. And I want to help you.
Why?
Why? Let's say it's your situation.
It's a surprise. I've been without any help for so long now.
Really?
Really.
Well, I'm going to help you. Okay? It's up to you.
Oh! Now that you received the body of Price, dismount me, zip me up, and lay beside me.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
You must leave that hell you're in. Whatever decision you make, I'm with you.
I know what to do.
I'm sure you do.
I guess I'll be good. There isn't any reason for any more explanations. I know what to do now, Master. I guess I won't be seeing you.
Bunny?
Keep well.
And I want to know how the hell a guy can hang on to the bottom of a limo doing 50 miles an hour.
His name is Robert Golden. His dossier is missing. And he can do what he does because we train him. Now do me a favor and back off.
U.S. senator's been killed. That's my jurisdiction.
Don't wave the Constitution at me.
I'm not only waiving the Constitution, but if I don't get what I'm asking for, I'm going right to the president.
Give me a minute. Hi, hello, pal of mine. This toy soldier is squeezing my jugular. Help me out here, will you?
Tell the truth.
Professor Hoberman's the next name on that list. What if Golden couldn't find him, but that stopped the program?
You mean hide him so well that Golden can't find him?
Exactly.
It wouldn't work. Any good program would take an impossibility into consideration and just move on to the next victim.
What are you getting at? But forget it, you can't ask me to ask Holden to act as a decoy.
I wasn't thinking about him. I was thinking about the next name on that list.
So at that point, those are all the nuts and bolts that the successful prosecution.
In February 1980, nearly 1 year after Robin Samso's murder, Rodney Alcala went on trial.
Over the course of 2.5 months, there were almost 50 witnesses that testified. It was a very long, very difficult case.
The jury convicted Alcala and sentenced him to death.
Oh, it's changed my daughter's life. But maybe it saved someone else's by me being gone.
But the relief would be short-lived.
Today, in a 5-1 decision, the California State Supreme Court ruled that Rodney Alcala did not receive a fair trial.
The decision would devastate Robin's mother, but the fight for justice was far from over.
You know, it was only one perpetrator, that little stone, but the ripples keep going. And there's victims and victims and victims and victims.
Und vor allen Dingen komm du jetzt hierher, ihr so ein großes Maul habt.
The Supreme Court overturned Rodney Alcala's first conviction in 1984. He was tried and convicted a second time.
We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Rodney James Alcala, guilty of the crime of felony.
Duldsam. Und wenn ihm eine widersprochen hat, dann hat er ist überzeugt, gesagt, halt deine Schnauze.
Again, the verdict was overturned.
Nein, hat nicht gesagt, halt die Schnauze. Eine Peitsche genommen und hat die Minister gehauen.
In 2003, the task of putting together the case again fell to Matt Murphy, who in 1979 was about the same age as Robin Samson.
You're dealing with the guy out of working the system. 2 trials, 2 convictions, twice sentenced to death, twice overturned. How do you prepare for a case like this?
when they reversed it, they also removed a substantial amount of evidence. So put it right up on my desk with basically stuff from Ventura.
Murphy was soon
get out of here. I don't want you here. Get out.
During the 22 years the Samso case had
Tell her to
wandered
leave
through
me
the
alone.
appellate courts, DNA technology had caught up
She won't
with
listen
Rodney
to me.
Alcala.
She never listens to me.
Now,
Get
Los
her
Angeles
out.
cold case squads suddenly linked him to 3 other unsolved murders.
DNA technology was very strong as it pointed to one person and one person only, and that was Rodney Alcala.
Los Angeles Deputy DA Gina Satriano charged Alcala for the murders of 18-year-old Jill Barker, 27-year-old Georgia Winstead, and 32-year-old Charlotte Lamb, who all had been killed between November 1977 and June 1978.
Right at that moment, we realized that not only is Rodney Alcala a vicious murderer in our case, but in fact, he is the serial killer we always suspected him to be.
There was also evidence linking Alcala to yet another L.A. murder. It is not so easy. 21-year-old Jill Paranto, who had been killed just 6 days before Robin Sampson.
But there is a similar case. Jill Parento's case was tied to Rodney Alcala back in '79.
Prosecutors had dropped the case at the time because they felt it was too weak. Authorities now saw it fit the pattern of the other murders.
In addition to the sexual assault and the fact that they were all left naked and posed, and to the beatings and traumas to the head, each of these women were strangled with living.
In 2 months, thank God, all
where is the town? What is George?
here in the Buck County.
George is the name of
When the dummy asked what it is you hope to find in this blessed village,
the master is
I told you, my thesis
students
that
ask the swamp.
organized practice
What is
in human
George?
society does not exist, and historically has never existed. So much the better, dear.
According to Gloria, man eat man.
South,
Let's say it was an invention of racism,
East,
which had a
West
vested
gates.
interest in creating the myth of the ferocious, subhuman savage fit only for extermination.
If you
The
know
mythical
why
lie
it
of
was
cannibal
set up.
ferox was only an alibi to
She
justify
stole
the greed and cruelty of the conquistadors.
King's Crown.
But what's manioca got to do with it?
It is
Well, if we can prove the incidents, cannibals,
but if not,
God sent me to you.
how many
never actually happened.
I'm
How
in
many
rock-solid
days
definitive support
are
of my
you
PhD
meditating?
dissertation.
Doesn't matter.
Well, you promised to take a bunch of pictures of me.
Are you injured?
Perfect.
Hey, man, you think there's a chance we'll bump into a few coca leaves?
Do you believe this, girl?
I don't see any superficial wounds.
Do not stop.
I don't know what made me eat my lunch across the street from your house, but when I saw someone suspicious leaving, I thought I'd come and take a look. And here you are. You think he's gone for good? He's not coming back, right? Well, if he does, I'll be here to protect you.
Am I interrupting something?
Not really. I've just got my beautiful young stud in there. A little girl with the sweetest taste of pussy ever ate. But it's okay. So I'll miss a few orgasms. But what's the matter?
I didn't see him leave with any kind of
You're still
loot.
not upset about your date with Charlie, are you?
No. It's just that I've got to talk to someone.
Did he
And you're
rape you?
always so sure of yourself.
Well, I always say, do what comes naturally. But
Did he hurt you?
what are you talking about?
Take a look.
It's just that I can't say no to him. I find myself wanting it to happen.
Everything seems okay down here.
Say no to who?
Was he rough with you?
Wanting what to happen?
There's nothing to be ashamed of. Go along with what a rapist says. Help prevent vaginal tears.
Paul, are you telling me that you fucked your son, Paul?
The worst part of it is, I think I'm falling in love with Jerry.
Oh, forget Jerry. You're just on the rebound.
You could be the man.
Tell me about
No, I can't. Anyone could get one of those. It's a fake. No, you're fooling me. away! Go away!
Elizabeth.
Jeffrey!
What happened?
Some man named Zorro.
I know you.
Zorro? Here?
No, not the gun. I want to see your
Jeffrey,
face
you
again.
were gone.
Dead?
And of course I was living.
What do you mean living parts? Holy shit! That's not my hand! What are these boobs? Elizabeth, what did you do to me?
I can explain. Obviously, Buccio serum only works on female body parts. I couldn't reuse your old body or even Zorro's, so naturally I had to make some changes.
No. Where's my Johnson? What did you do to me, Elizabeth?
Granted, what I did may have been a bit unorthodox, but hey, you look great, and you're alive, and you're back with me, and I love you. I love you, Jeffrey, and we're together again, all of us. Together again. Together again!
Then they thought I would be, the enemy might learn what I was doing to disrupt being nasty. So then they moved me on to other things.
You've dealt with mind control in some ways, in some fashions, and you know something about the mind, clearly, and about this information field, and I'm wondering if there's something within the information field and or the mind-body interaction that can be set up to protect oneself against, let's say, mind control devices such as the digital television that is now projecting, able to communicate with people in their houses and so on and so forth.
Well, that's an assumption that we're making.
Right, I'm making that assumption, not you. But, so I'm just asking, what is there something?
There are things that were designed specifically. As an example, in the probably 80s, the Russians had a thing that was,
it says in this book
because it sounded like a woodpecker, shortwave radio was called the woodpecker, and they had 3 large locations that were transmitting
a member of the undead,
probably several billion watts per location, and they were phased in a particular area so they could move where the peak of that electromagnetic wave would fall. And it turns out that one of the places here they had it fall was in a town called Eugene, Oregon. And people there were getting sunburns while they slept at night. And they were getting headaches, and they were having birth defects and so forth. And the woodpecker had a very strong signal there, highly interfering. And it was at a psychoactive frequency so that it would disrupt the appropriate thinking capabilities of the brain.
This is all documented, by the way, on the net.
Oh yeah, it's all documented. And there were also, a good friend of mine was a man who discovered that they were bombarding the Moscow embassy with microwaves that had much the same frequency content. So there was a fellow that designed a little device that you could wear under the collar, which was provided to all of our personnel that we needed to make sure had clear thinking, that they could carry with them, and it would send a signal, a close-by signal, remembering that electromagnetic waves decrease with the cube of the distance. After a very short distance, the signal is very, very weak. So you put a weak signal near the person and drive their mind into a range of brainwaves that would be benign or even hopefully beneficial. And they found a very simple way to find out what was beneficial, and then a very simple way to tune the device so that they put those waves out. And they were carried by all types of different
This is it.
military.
What'd you say?
Here's-
Nothing. I was just talking to Sam. A very bad habit.
I would certainly think they would be.
One. Well, they bring you here if you don't go home in a year. I haven't been there a year. Sometimes they know sooner. Your name, please? Virginia Stewart Cunningham.
I'm Miss Somerville. I keep the record. I'm sure I haven't taken your temperature today yet. It's important, you know. Normal. Thank you.
Miss Somerville. Wasn't she the head nurse in one before I was there?
Whatever she was, she ain't anymore. Very sick, you know.
Let me, I will do it again, I promise. Let me go in. Oh, it's bad.
I warned you to leave Hester alone.
You gotta be careful with her. Very sick, you know. She don't talk and she don't like nobody she don't know and she don't know nobody.
She fights him.
Hey, where you going?
Hello. I know how you feel, Hester. I used to feel like that, too. I'd like to be your friend. Would you let me be your friend?
You do too. You are the more decent than I am. I come from a good family, one of the best, and you can't prove that I'm one of them. You can't. You can't. You can't prove that I'm one of them. You can't. You can't. You can't. Blah, 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 Я их погнала, я их всех разогнала, я прыгнула с башни прямо на пароход. И стою 20 часов и дожидаюсь. Чего я дожидаюсь? Губернатор подписал бумагу, я видела это своими глазами. Вы думаете, что я вам вру? Я вам правду говорю. Истинную правду я не могу. I'm talking to you as a representative of authority because I think if they could get Mulligan to bring her out of here today, August 20th, 1943, she would get $10,000. But they must investigate the case to the nth degree and make a report on it. I believe I can prove to them that I was never insane. I had no bad habits of any kind, and I'm willing to cooperate. They can ask me any questions they wish. And wrong, yes, I answer no one the world.
It was strange. Here I was among all those people, and at the same time, I felt as if I were looking at them from someplace far away. The whole place seemed to me like a deep hole. People down in it like strange animals, like snakes.
Bestiality, fornication between man and beast, is a most odious crime, because it is a sin which defiles the image of man, and thus man is created to a sin which is completely opposed to the laws of nature. That is precisely why Leviticus, punishing it, assigned the death penalty not only to the man or woman having committed such crime, but to the beast who was condemned as well.
Let's suppose no copulation took place, but contact alone, would that too be considered bestiality?
Contact is despicable enough. A priest is forbidden to remain silent if he hears of it in confession. There are many examples of beasts being used for sex gratification. It often happens that the vagina of a woman is aroused by a cat's tongue. Other women stimulate the sex organ of a beast, just so they can feel it ejaculate. That is, of course, why Vernier suggested to his confessors that they question every woman, and especially those women who are known to have sinned, to see if they have ever done anything sinful with a beast.
O'Neill, I've had these dreams.
It is not uncommon that one discovers through questioning many shameful sins.
To me, close to perfection. So you believe he's out to attack you. You're afraid, you're lust. You will destroy Rebecca's soul, aren't you, Joshua? Yes. You want it. Part of you wants to become a whore in his hands. All right. In order to hate me. and get a hold on him. Am I right? Am I right?
Yes.
You can save her from all of this. If you will pray as I tell you. Speak in tongues. I command you. Speak in the language of angels. Revistimi tindoro, formi sindere, conquermi tindoro, revistimi tindoro, formi sindere, conquermi tindoro, formi sindere, toro mi sindere, revistimi tindoro, formi sindere, conquermi tindoro, revistimi tindoro, formi sindere, futo mi tindoro, formi sindere, istere. Translate.
Thinking about sense objects will attach you to sense objects. Grow attached and you become addicted. Thwart your addiction and you become angry. Become angry and you become confused. Become confused and you forget the lesson of experience. Forget the lesson of experience and you lose discrimination and you miss those.
Come in, dear.
This is one of the guest rooms. You've never seen guests.
I was so lost a few minutes
I
ago.
always called it the ghost room.
Now that we're here,
I shall never lose you two.
Gromer always had Peggy keep it spotless. Just the same.
I thought you were incredibly bold when you prayed this morning, Josh.
Do you like it? Both of you staying in here?
Yes.
Well, not that I mind. You're not exactly a child. And you're as good as married. But I'm right next door, you know. Does that bother you?
Good night, dear.
Good night. No, you've really done it. With that monstrous stick of yours. What did you do with it? You threw it in the sea, didn't you? I bet you threw it in the sea.
Who said I didn't? It could just have been St. Michael. He had everything that came by it.
He'd never do such a thing.
Maybe not. Maybe I did. What's the difference? Anyway, it's only what you would have done yourself if you had the nerve to have a
Aleister Crowley, 1875 to 1947. Aleister Crowley was perhaps the most controversial and misunderstood personality to figure in the meaning of modern-day witchcraft. Known by the popular press of his time as the Great Beast and the wickedest man in the world, Crowley was a powerful magician, poet, prophet, and famed occultist. He was also a one-time witch, while most of the elders of the craft were described as a tyrant. Crowley, like many great men before him, was a man before his time. He lived in a society that too little understand him or appreciated his latent genius. His writings so shocked the peoples of his era that he was robbed of the praise that it merited, and as a poet he never received the recognition he deserved. Crowley was born on the 12th of October 1875 in Leamington, Scotland. His parents, Edward Crowley and his wife Emily, were wealthy boys and the epitome of resistability. They were also devout Christians and staunch members of the Plymouth Brethren sect. They brought up young Crowley in an atmosphere of pious religious narrow-mindedness, against which he constantly rebelled. His whole life thereafter seems to have been a revolt against his parents and everything they stood for. His father died when he was 11 years old. After the death of his father, Crowley inherited the family fortune and went on to be educated at Trinity College, Cambridge. There he wrote and studied poetry. He loved the outdoors life and was a capable mountain climber, in pursuit of which he attempted some of the highest peaks in the Himalayas. In 1898 he published his first book of poetry called Aceldama, A Place to Bury Strangers In, a philosophical poem by a gentleman of the University of Cambridge in 1898. In the preface he describes how God and Satan had fought for his soul and states, God conquered and edged, and now I have only 1,000 God left and match which of the twain was God? It was, while he was at Trinity, that Crowley became interested in the occult, and with Henry Allen Bennett, they began to study whatever they could.
The transfusions of human blood have been
excited
ineffective
by
against
descriptions
terrible
of torture and blood. He liked to
I feel the
fantasize
blood
about
from
being
an animal as
degraded
powerful
and
as that of
abused
a
by a
gorilla.
scarlet woman.
Might annihilate whatever is causing
wicked and
cancer in
independent.
blood.
One of
But
the
are you
books
sure
he
your
read
system
about
can
this
stand
time
this
was
transfusion?
about
Still a virgin.
As it is now, no.
What a cute idea.
Well then, why are you going to run the risk? I'm going to use the gorilla's heart. You're going to transplant the hearts.
Hey, do you mean...
Julio's for that of the gorilla.
No, impossible.
Move the table over to the cage. And
You mean
prepare
you
the
never...
gorilla.
How to be polite. You never had intercourse with another man?
No, never.
That's funny. That is really funny. I just can't believe it. To the virgin harlot, all hail!
Stop it! Stop it! I hate you! I hate all of you!
Don't you know what time it is?
Just about it.
The corridor.
The corridor of the flat next door. I don't know how I knew that. I've never set foot in that place. And then there is no place with such a long corridor.
That's the corridor of the flat next door. You have already reasoned about it before. And eventually, at the end of the corridor, you see a person. Always the same person.
Julia Bureau.
Your next door
Sono
neighbor.
Henry e sto anch'io in un posto
The
dove si
woman who
balla.
lives in that
Siamo tutta
flat.
una gang. Ci sono dei ragazzi
In your
famosi.
dreams, you always see her dressed as a striptease artist. Or a
Ti
prostitute.
raggiungerei, ma non so dove si
In
trova il
fact, that
kiss.
woman for you represents degradation.
Lo so io.
And vice.
Forse ti raggiungo,
The
ciao.
flat next door is a symbol of vice. You've referred to this woman before as someone who is not quite
Abito da quelle parti.
No, she certainly isn't.
That's it. Your conscience forces you to disapprove of
veramente
that
gentile.
woman's way of life.
Mi
But at the
spiace
same
darle questo
time,
disturbo.
her freedom excites your curiosity. You feel attracted. This conflict, which is responsible for your actual state of anxiety,
Smell of the bull ring.
What's this all about?
Leather and dirt. Blood and sweat. The burritos and cervezas. We can only bottle it and sell it as perfume. We could make
I've been
a fortune.
hypnotized or something.
Anyway, who gives a hoot
Hypnotized.
about smelling good when we are talking about the eternal struggle of man and beast? Or should I say, woman and beast? We all know that not so very deep down inside, men are nothing but animals.
I'm gonna kill
with only
someone.
one thing on their mind.
Oh, yeah?
And women have made it an
Who are you
art
gonna
form,
kill?
keeping that animal at bay.
I don't know.
It takes a certain finesse to keep a poodle from humping her legs every
Who
10 minutes.
hypnotized you?
And an even greater talent, keeping a guy from impaling you with
I
his
saw him
engorged
looking
horn,
at me once when I
as we shall soon
when I
see.
looked around the bar, and
So, ole, muchachos, and
he then
hang on
moved
to your
his hands.
enchilada. This next little demonstration,
And
ain't for the
he
faint
said
of
that
heart.
I would know who it was.
How are you going to kill this person?
With a screwdriver.
Forces have conditioned this world of ours, and especially the Western nations, for the receiving of a common standardized system. There is, for example, the fear of atomic warfare. Knowing that right now there is enough weaponry in the world of detonation to be equivalent to 10 tons of TNT exploded under every man, woman, and baby of the entire world, man is afraid. Any moment a radical mind will trigger a salvo of bombs that will set off an atomic holocaust. This is why the Senator Jack Kennedy, before ever reaching the presidential office, gave to the State Department Article 777 entitled Freedom from War. He was advocating all the weaponry of the world be placed in the hands of one committee with a singular head. This is nothing. I say nothing. Will it be accepted? I will declare this. It says there'll be one committee with one head, and they will have control over all the weapons of the world. Revelation 13 and 7. We have watched the trend of the religious organizations forming a world church. Will it be established? Yes. One day I'll have it on satanic findings. I think he speaks of this so clearly in Revelation chapter 13. In verse 2. Those who will not bow and revere this image, symbol of the
Take it away.
The enemy is gone. There is fear today of the poisoning nail. We find that the atmosphere above our head, the quantity delicately is balanced, is 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen. The other dozen gases comprising the other 1%.
Oh Lord, omnipotent, pardon our talking. Oh merciful God in heaven and for mankind like one thing.
Syntheses to play. It is the force of the atmosphere above that places the carbon and the nitrogen into the soil and causes the food, rain, and man. But what happens when Americans put 100 million tons of carbon monoxide into the air annually? This takes 5 years to disintegrate. This takes 5 years to disintegrate. And 30 million tons of sulfur oxide, plus all the other components. Now it hangs like a heavy brown ball of lead, coast to coast and across the ocean. But as the world turns on its axis every 24 hours, and the atmosphere moves more slowly, every 10 days men get a complete change in world air. While the concern is in the Orient, it is equally concerning in Europe. The Strasbourg Convention sought to reach all the heads of Western states and powers of Europe. And they said we must have a world government or we will be poisoned to death in a 5-year period. 100,000 dead fish taken out of the Oklahoma River just a few days ago by the Keystone Lake. 40 million dead fish taken out of the Rhine River of Europe. One of our leading oceanographers declares the Pacific Ocean may be as
Harry, my dear, I've been thinking for many years, and I've achieved quite a lot in that time, don't you think?
Rather too much, I'm afraid. You no longer confide in me. I forgot to call him business fella. And now this young man, Jason, someone's going to get suspicious.
Anybody who's ever had any dealings with that scoundrel Pollock would be too glad to see the back of it. As to these young people, they come and go like flies. Their disappearance will hardly be known. Besides, you don't think I've engineered all this equipment for all these years for nothing? Trust yourself.
The combined populations of Australia, New Zealand, Norway, Sweden, Greece, and Israel, Chile, and Canada. Do you realize that 20 million will die of starvation this year in a world where half of humanity is hungry? I was addressing the combined gathering of the U.S. Army chaplains in Europe.
And what will you do?
At the close of the morning session, the chaplain said in question-answer time,
You're too old.
Is it not an overstatement to declare that millions will be dying of starvation this year?
People twice my age have managed to make ends meet.
He said, no, sir. I said, then do not speak of poverty and exploded population unless you have seen the Orient first, then South America and Africa, then Europe and America. Where we find in Asia 60% of the world's population.
Is that the man
about 6% of the world's production. You know, the productive ground
what does he want?
is not so great. About 58 million square miles.
I wish we could be together all the time. JC, it may sound funny, two guys laying in bed together and me saying, I love you.
All right, love. I think you're great in bed, and yes, I can see somebody loving you, but not me. Guys, I'm getting the urge to move on again, and Ken, do me a favor and just don't come around anymore.
All right, I won't.
Dreaming again, huh, JC? Gonna buy Mommy a great big car and show me the whole world someday, huh? Well, it takes money to travel. Yeah, that's the secret. Money. Wish I'd listened to my mother. But oh no, I had to marry for love. Well, dreams sure don't last very long. You know, when you're young, it's all like being on a merry-go-round. And sometimes you think maybe you reach out and grab that gold ring, only you're enjoying the ride too much. Up and down, up and down. The music and the colored lights. And the carousel stops. And I'll tell you, believe me, there's nothing left but the gold ring. That's the only thing that's important. You know, there's always a rainy day. Especially when you get older. And especially for kids like you. Living in a town like this. With a waitress for a mother. A waitress. Lots of rainy days in store for you, JC. It's kids like you that have to go off to war. It's kids like you that can't get a job during a depression. Or get sent up for some little thing that the banker's son goes free for. Yeah. Money. It all adds up to money. Listen, short of killing or robbing a bank, you do everything you can to get money. You understand? Don't you waste your time fooling around with cars and girls. You just take account of what you got and you use it for all it's worth. People forget once you're rich. Yeah, they forget. Like they forget politicians' lies or restaurant owners' two-faced businesses. I wish I'd listened to my mother. She was always saying, yeah, marry for money, Bonnie Jean, you got the looks. But I like the pretty words. Strong hardness, and the wavy hair, and the fast-moving hands. Feeling, I guess I'm just all feeling. I guess that's what keeps me in my place. And men are all alike. Always wanting to try something different. Always something different.
This is not, of course, to say that Sherry's fate has been completely decided. Sherry has leveled certain charges against you, which, should they prove to be true, might serve as partial justification for some of her actions. The Master's verdicts are harsh. His judgments are final, but he is fair. And in this situation, there being no witnesses as such, it essentially being a case of her word against yours, and Sherry being in altogether too much trouble as it is, the only fair way to get to the truth in this situation is to ask you about it. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
I have no way of knowing how strong your belief in Master Lucifer is. I would hope, for your sake, that you have no doubts whatsoever concerning his eternal power and presence. If If you do have doubts, nothing I can say now is likely to erase them, but for the record,
Janie,
if you do have doubts,
you're finally in bed with him, where you always wanted to
charges
be.
are not that serious.
Is this the way you thought it would be?
Bring his banishment from the followers,
Is he the most desired?
and the protection of the Lord of the earth.
How does it feel to have him beside you, on you, as close to you as he can ever be? This is what you've always wanted. Isn't
My
it,
Lord and Master Lucifer,
My Lord and Master
Janie?
Lucifer,
thou art my God and my priest.
thou art my God and my prince.
I serve and obey thee.
I serve and obey thee.
I worship and adore thee.
I worship and adore thee.
I give thee my life, my body, my soul,
I give thee my life, my body, my soul,
forever, forever, through eternity forever. By this oath, and in the name and presence of Master Lucifer, do you hereby swear that the testimony you shall give in this, the holy court of our priests, shall be true, best of your knowledge? Have you ever in your life as a follower of Satan entertained in your mind erotic desires homosexual in nature?
No.
Have you ever in your life as a follower of Satan ever made homosexual advances toward any sister follower of Satan?
No.
Have you ever in your life
We wanted everyone to be able to feel our disdain,
It's
our
autumn,
rebellion as
Janie.
exiles, the meaning
Your
of our
favorite
struggle,
season.
the historical meaning.
The season when everything
left and I became
dies.
a fascist.
When life
Excuse
turns
me,
gold
lady,
and brown
but a
and
confirmed
drops
fascist
from the
doesn't
trees
talk like
until the whole world is dead. Barren, frozen, stiff, lifeless, dead. Autumn is the best season of the year, Janie. It proclaims death to all. The first week of school, and already you're sick of it. You had forgotten during the summer how bad it was, how dull, how stupid the everyday routine was. The idiotic kids in school, they're still sitting in rows like dumb puppets, trying to please even dumber teachers. This is autumn, Janie. The time when everything is dead.
At 3 in the morning, they wanted me to go back with them to her apartment, but I'm not listening to a word I'm saying. What's on your mind? I was thinking about the dream I had this morning. It keeps coming back. A very strange.
Those kids, they're all the same.
A man is
Not
abandoned
like you,
on the
Janie.
for an
They're a
expat.
bunch of animals.
It sounds
All they
exactly
think
like
of is
science
sex.
fiction. It was.
How can you stand it to sit next to them?
Oh yes, I remembered it. I dreamed a scene from a movie I saw years and years ago. It made a terrible impression on me. I never saw the end. I left before it was over. It was called Blood on the Moon. No, Footprints on the Moon.
My man is something. Tomorrow, it is tomorrow. Early, gym day. Go to the gym, yeah. Light workout, Shoulders, arms, and lats. Post office. Mail the checks, check the mail. Bank, flush out the blue account. Take something sizable from the slasher and set it aside. The slasher account, how obvious. Anyway, set it aside for tax-free work. Hospital bonds, they should be at, what are they, 5%, 6.5. Stop off at the Papaya and get a high-protein drink. Drop a couple of dimes, wake Jack up and get Vince on the phone. See if he wants to meet for coffee. Not nearly necessary though. Should be no trouble with that business. Bank, post office. I wonder where that fool is. He should have been in touch with me by now. Could have forgotten me. Oh well. I'll leave a message for AJ that not interested in Fidelity Unlimited. Period. He's wrong. I can tell he's wrong. It's gonna go public and collapse. Secondary tier is definitely in for a decline. If he goes ahead, make a bet with him though, just to keep it lively. Drop in at Dolores's and give her some flip-flop about why you didn't make it to her party. But don't crack wise on any of the new religions, you know. Don't want to queer her. Get the lawyer and see if he read anything between the lines of Dollar Sam's rap sheet. See if he's seen it. See if he's seen Dollar Sam, for that matter, crazy nigger bringing a bitch into it. Check out the parcel and just above the park there. On the way, you can drop in. Make peace be early for the appointment with that fool. Catch him off balance. Thinks he's into something dangerous. What a dildo. Just because I walk in with two hookers that time, he thinks I'm in the underground world. Should have leant over and said that she's in the golden showers or something. Anyway, just lean on him a little bit and see if you can take any pressure whatsoever. He thinks he's into something dangerous. What's dangerous about the restaurant business unless it's the food? There anyway. Annie, get something for Annie. Get a trinket for Annie. Better call her up though, see if she was kidding about me. Oh no, she probably wasn't. She always was in Skype. Strange to see her after all these years. Let's see. What else? Oh, cash out and the Reynolds thing. Cash out Reynolds or be cashed out. Anyway, he's too dumb to have for a partner. Should just cut him loose and see how he floats anyway. Stop by the bookstore and skim Patty Smith's new book of poetry, Babel or Babel, whatever it is. Anyway, it's bound to be coming up in conversation. It's the same Montgomery Clift new biography, the one Ork was running down and pick up that Spanish Poets Anthology, the 1975, the one with the Bly and Igna. Oh yeah, what was it? God, that was weird seeing that guy come out of that hospital place and kicking in the plate glass window. God, was he hot? What a sucker. The tracks on his arm looking at black and white didn't come by. That would have been all pop right then. Everyone is just becoming unhinged. Light day. Oh, Don't get DuPont and see about leasing another car. Cancel the haircut. Make an appointment with the dentist. What else? Trying to tell me something. What else? You don't. Oh, secure the Danville units for 60 and blow off 1 at 40.
Trying to tell me
So that
something
should take
in
care
the
of
way
it. Make
that
everyone
you
happy.
walk, but it don't match the way that you talk.
That's quiet.
Sick.
Quiet after the rain. Except for the lights. Outside. It's dark. As we see what can happen.
This is just one song. It's coming. You'll be dead gone. Get your hands from my throat. You don't get my vote. Get out of town.
Thank you, my friend.
Yes, Dr. Arboria, it's me.
Oh, wonderful. Come closer so I can see you. It's wonderful to see you again. You're looking well, my friend.
Thank you, Dr. Arboria. So are you.
Harry, there's no need to flatter an old man. I know I've seen better days.